Hello everyone. Welcome to these summary notes on Part A Self-Management Skills for CBSE Class 10. Self-management skills help us understand ourselves, manage our emotions, stay motivated, and achieve our goals. These skills are not only important for examinations but also for success in everyday life. In this lesson, we will learn about self-awareness, self-confidence, self-motivation, stress management, time management, goal setting, and the importance of maintaining a positive attitude. We will also explore practical techniques to improve our productivity, make better decisions, and develop healthy habits. These notes have been prepared in a simple and easy to understand format so that you can revise the entire chapter quickly before your examinations. By the end of this presentation, you will have a clear understanding of all the important concepts, key points, and exam-focused topics from the chapter. So, let's begin our journey into Part A Self-Management Skills. These summary notes are presented by Shritoma Majumdar from EduShri. Let's get started. In this chapter, we will cover all the important topics related to self-management skills that are essential for the CBSE Class 10 Information Technology examination. We will begin with an introduction to self-management, where you will understand what self-management means and why it is an important life skill. Next, we will discuss stress management. You will learn about the common causes of stress, its effects, and simple techniques to reduce and manage stress effectively. After that, we will study self-awareness, including how to identify your strengths and weaknesses. Understanding yourself is the first step toward personal growth and continuous improvement. Our next topic is self-motivation. We will explore ways to stay motivated, build confidence, and maintain a positive attitude even when facing challenges. We will then move to self-regulation through goal setting. You will learn how to set specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound goals that help you stay focused and achieve success. Finally, we will learn about time management. We will discuss practical techniques for planning your day, setting priorities, avoiding procrastination, and making the best use of your time. By the end of this chapter, you will have a clear understanding of all these concepts and be well prepared for your examinations as well as for developing important life skills. Now, let's begin with the introduction to self-management. Self-management is the ability to understand yourself, control your thoughts and emotions, manage your time effectively, and take responsibility for your actions. It helps you stay focused, organized, and motivated while working towards your goals. Strong self-management skills are essential for academic success, career growth, and personal development. They enable you to make better decisions, overcome challenges, and maintain a positive attitude in different situations. In this section, we will learn about the key skills of self-management. These include self-awareness, self-motivation, self-regulation, goal setting, time management, and stress management. Together, these skills help us become more disciplined, confident, and productive. As we explore each of these skills, you will understand how they can be applied in your daily life to improve your performance both inside and outside the classroom. So, let's begin by understanding the key skills required for effective self-management. Let's understand what self-management means. Self-management, also known as self-control, is the ability to manage and regulate our emotions, thoughts, and behaviors in different situations. It helps us stay calm, focused, and responsible even when we face challenges or distractions. A person with good self-management skills is able to control emotions, make thoughtful decisions, and respond positively instead of reacting impulsively. These skills help us maintain discipline and improve our overall performance in both our personal and academic lives. Self management also includes important qualities such as self motivation, which encourages us to keep working towards our goals without needing constant encouragement from others. It also involves setting clear goals, planning our work, and taking consistent steps to achieve success. In today's competitive world, employers highly value people who possess strong self management skills. Such individuals are considered reliable, responsible, adaptable, and capable of working independently as well as in teams. Developing self management skills not only helps us perform better in school and examinations but also prepares us for a successful career and a balanced life. Now that we understand the meaning of self management, let's explore the key skills required to become an effective self manager. Now that we know what self management is, let's look at the key skills that help us become successful in both our personal and professional lives. The first skill is self awareness. Self awareness means understanding yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, your interests, and your abilities. One of the best ways to improve self awareness is by accepting honest feedback from teachers, parents, friends, or colleagues. The better you understand yourself, the better decisions you can make. The second skill is responsibility. Being responsible means taking ownership of your work and your actions. If you make a mistake, don't look for excuses. Instead, accept it, learn from it, and try to do better next time. Responsible people are dependable and earn the trust of others. The third skill is time management. Time is one of our most valuable resources. Good time management means setting priorities, preparing a schedule, and following it consistently. When you manage your time well, you can complete your tasks on time, reduce stress, and create a healthy balance between studies and personal life. The fourth skill is adaptability. The world around us is constantly changing. New technologies, new ideas, and new challenges appear every day. Adaptability means being open to learning, accepting change with a positive attitude, and adjusting yourself to new situations with confidence. Developing these four skills, self awareness, responsibility, time management, and adaptability, will help you become more confident, productive, and prepared for success in every stage of life. Now that we've understood the basics of self management, let's move on to another essential life skill: stress management. Stress is something that everyone experiences. Whether it's preparing for exams, meeting deadlines, handling responsibilities, or facing unexpected challenges, stress is a natural part of life. The important thing is not to avoid stress completely, but to learn how to manage it in a healthy and positive way. In this section, we'll begin by understanding what stress is and how it affects our mind, body, and behavior. Next, we'll learn what stress management means and why it is important for maintaining both our physical and mental well being. After that, we'll discuss the 3 simple steps to manage stress. These practical steps can help you stay calm, focused, and confident even in difficult situations. We'll also explore some effective stress management techniques that you can easily apply in your daily life. These methods will help you reduce anxiety, improve concentration, and maintain a healthy balance between studies and personal life. Finally, we'll understand the concept of emotional intelligence. You'll learn how recognizing and managing your own emotions, as well as understanding the emotions of others, can improve relationships, decision making, and overall success. By the end of this section, you'll have practical strategies to handle stress more effectively and develop a healthier, more positive approach to life's challenges. So, let's begin by understanding what stress really is. Now, let's understand what stress is. Have you ever felt nervous before an exam, worried about completing an assignment on time, or anxious about speaking in front of a class? That feeling is called stress. Stress is our body's natural emotional, mental, physical, and social response to situations that we see as challenging, demanding, or threatening. A small amount of stress is completely normal and can even help us stay alert and perform better. The situations that cause stress are known as stressors. Stressors can be different for different people. For students, common stressors include exam pressure, homework, project deadlines, or lack of sleep. In everyday life, losing a loved one, family problems, financial difficulties, or major life changes can also become sources of stress. It's important to understand that not all stress is harmful. Sometimes, stress can actually motivate us. For example, the pressure of an upcoming examination or an assignment deadline can encourage us to study harder and manage our time better. This type of stress often helps us stay focused and achieve our goals. However, when stress becomes too intense or continues for a long time, it can have negative effects. Prolonged stress may affect our physical health, disturb our sleep, reduce our concentration, lower our productivity, and even impact our emotional well-being. That's why learning to recognize stress early and managing it effectively is an essential life skill. In the next topic, we'll understand what stress management is and how it helps us lead a healthier, happier, and more balanced life. Now that we understand what stress is, let's learn about stress management. Stress management is the process of planning and using healthy strategies to deal with daily pressures and challenges. The goal is not to eliminate stress completely, because some amount of stress is a normal part of life. Instead, stress management helps us handle stressful situations in a calm and positive way. When we manage stress effectively, we are able to maintain a healthy balance between our studies or work, our personal life, our relationships, and our time for rest and relaxation. This balance improves both our physical and mental well-being. One simple way to understand stress management is through the ABC model. The first step is A, which stands for adversity. Adversity is the stressful event or situation that we face. For example, it could be an upcoming examination, a disagreement with a friend, or missing an important deadline. The second step is B, which stands for beliefs. Beliefs are the thoughts and opinions we have about that situation. Two people may face the same challenge, but they may think about it differently. One person may see it as an opportunity to learn, while another may see it as a problem that cannot be solved. Our beliefs greatly influence how we feel. The third step is C, which stands for consequences. Consequences are the results of our thoughts and actions. Positive thinking often leads to calmness, confidence, and better decisions. Negative thinking, on the other hand, may increase stress, reduce confidence, and affect our performance. The important lesson from the ABC model is that we cannot always control the situations we face, but we can control how we think about them and how we respond. By developing positive beliefs and healthy coping strategies, we can reduce stress and handle life's challenges more effectively. Next, we'll learn about 3 simple steps that can help us manage stress in our daily lives. Now that we understand what stress is and how stress management works, let's learn 3 simple steps to manage stress effectively. The first step is to be aware. The first thing you should do is recognize the signs of stress. Your body and mind often give you warning signals. You may experience headaches, sadness, difficulty sleeping, nervousness, irritation, or trouble concentrating. By noticing these signs early, You can take action before stress becomes overwhelming. The second step is to identify the cause. Ask yourself, what is making me feel stressed? Is it an upcoming examination? Too much homework? Family responsibilities? Financial concerns? Or perhaps you're simply not getting enough rest. Finding the real cause helps you choose the right solution instead of just dealing with the symptoms. The third step is to apply stress management methods. Once you've identified the cause, it's time to take positive action. Start by organizing your time and setting realistic priorities. If you're feeling overwhelmed, don't hesitate to talk to someone you trust, such as a parent, teacher, friend, or counselor. Physical activities like walking, exercising, or playing sports can also help reduce stress. You can also relax by listening to music, reading a book, practicing deep breathing, meditation, or spending time doing activities you enjoy. Remember, stress is a normal part of life, but it doesn't have to control you. By becoming aware of your feelings, identifying the cause, and taking healthy steps to manage stress, you can stay calm, confident, and focused even during challenging situations. In the next section, we'll explore some effective stress management techniques that you can use in your daily life to stay healthy, productive, and emotionally balanced. Now that we know how to identify and manage stress, let's explore some simple and effective stress management techniques that you can easily include in your daily routine. The first technique is time management. Planning your day properly helps you complete your work on time and prevents last-minute pressure. When you organize your tasks and set priorities, you feel more confident and less stressed. The second technique is physical exercise and spending time in fresh air. Regular physical activities such as walking, jogging, cycling, or playing sports help refresh both your body and mind. Practices like yoga, meditation, and deep breathing exercises are also excellent ways to relax, improve concentration, and reduce stress. Even spending a little time outdoors in fresh air can make you feel calm and energized. The third technique is maintaining a healthy diet. Eating balanced and nutritious meals provides your body with the energy it needs to perform daily activities efficiently. Good nutrition also supports better mental health and helps you cope with stressful situations more effectively. The fourth technique is to develop a positive attitude. Instead of focusing only on problems, try to look for solutions and appreciate the good things in your life. Positive thinking helps you stay optimistic, improves your confidence, and makes it easier to overcome challenges. The fifth technique is organizing your academic life. Keep your notes neat and organized, complete assignments on time, and avoid delaying your work. Good study habits reduce exam pressure and make learning much more enjoyable. The sixth technique is getting enough sleep. Sleep is essential for both your body and your brain. Students should aim for at least 7 hours of quality sleep every night. Proper sleep improves memory, concentration, mood, and overall health. Finally, remember the importance of taking breaks and enjoying holidays. Spending quality time with your family and friends, traveling, or simply taking short breaks from your routine helps you relax, recharge your mind, and return to your work with fresh energy and enthusiasm. These simple habits may seem small, but when practiced regularly, they can make a big difference in reducing stress and improving your overall well-being. Next, we'll learn about another important life skill, emotional intelligence, and understand how managing our emotions helps us build stronger relationships and make better decisions. Now, let's discuss an important life skill known as emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, often called EQ, is the ability to understand, manage, and express our own emotions while also recognizing and responding appropriately to the emotions of others. People with high emotional intelligence usually communicate better, build stronger relationships, handle conflicts calmly, and make thoughtful decisions, even in difficult situations. Emotional intelligence is built on three important skills. The first is emotional awareness. This means recognizing and understanding your own emotions. Ask yourself questions like, "What am I feeling right now?" or "Why am I reacting this way?" The better you understand your emotions, the better you can control them. The second skill is harnessing emotions. This means using your emotions in a positive and productive way. Instead of allowing emotions to distract you, you can use them to stay motivated, solve problems creatively, and make better decisions. The third skill is managing emotions. Managing emotions means controlling your feelings instead of letting your feelings control you. It also means showing empathy, understanding how others feel, and responding with patience and respect. Now, let's look at some simple steps to improve emotional intelligence. The first step is to understand your emotions. Observe your behavior and pay attention to how you react in different situations. This helps you identify areas where you can improve and become more self aware. The next step is to rationalize your thoughts. Before reacting emotionally, pause for a moment and think carefully. Avoid making quick decisions when you are angry, upset, or frustrated. A calm and logical approach usually leads to better outcomes. Finally, practice regularly. Activities like meditation, yoga, mindfulness, and deep breathing help you stay calm, improve self control, and manage emotions more effectively. Like any other skill, emotional intelligence becomes stronger with regular practice. Remember, emotional intelligence is not about hiding your emotions. It is about understanding them, controlling them wisely, and using them positively. Developing this skill will help you succeed in your studies, build meaningful relationships, and face life's challenges with confidence. With this, we complete our discussion on stress management and emotional intelligence. Next, we'll move on to the next important topic in self management skills. Now, let's move on to our next topic: self awareness, strength, and weakness analysis. Self awareness is one of the most important life skills because it helps us understand who we are, what we are good at, and what we need to improve. When we know ourselves well, we can make better decisions, set realistic goals, and choose the right path for our education and future career. Self awareness also increases our confidence and helps us continuously grow as individuals. In this section, we'll begin by learning how to know yourself better. We'll explore ways to identify your strengths, recognize your weaknesses, and understand your unique personality. Next, we'll discuss different techniques that help in self identification. These simple methods will enable you to evaluate yourself honestly and discover areas where you can improve. Finally, we'll understand the difference between interests and abilities. Many students think these two terms mean the same thing, but they are actually different. Your interests are the activities you enjoy doing, while your abilities are the skills or talents that help you perform those activities successfully. Understanding both your interests and your abilities will help you make informed choices about your studies, career, and personal development. So, let's begin by learning how to know yourself better. Let's begin by understanding what it means to know yourself. Knowing yourself is the foundation of self awareness. It means understanding who you are as a person and recognizing both your strengths and your weaknesses. When you know yourself well, you become more confident, make better decisions, and set realistic goals for your future. But self-awareness is much more than simply knowing what you're good at. It starts by asking yourself a very important question: who am I? The answer to this question comes from understanding different aspects of your personality. The first is your beliefs. These are the principles and ideas that guide your decisions and influence how you see the world. The second is your background. Your family, education, culture, and life experiences all play an important role in shaping who you are today. Next are your opinions. These are your personal thoughts and viewpoints about different people, situations, and events. Your opinions may change as you learn and gain new experiences. Another important aspect is your likes and dislikes. These help you discover your interests, hobbies, and preferences, making it easier to choose activities that you truly enjoy. Finally, there are your values. Values are the qualities and principles that are most important to you, such as honesty, kindness, respect, responsibility, and hard work. They influence your behavior and help you make the right choices in life. When you understand your beliefs, background, opinions, likes and dislikes, and values, you develop a much clearer picture of yourself. This deeper understanding is the first step towards personal growth, self-confidence, and lifelong success. Now, let's explore different techniques that can help us identify our strengths and weaknesses more effectively. Now that we know the importance of self-awareness, let's learn how to identify our strengths and weaknesses. The first step is finding your strengths. A simple way to begin is by thinking about the tasks that you usually perform well. Ask yourself, which activities do I enjoy, and which ones do I complete successfully with confidence? These are often your natural strengths. Another helpful technique is to consider what other people appreciate about you. Teachers, parents, friends, and classmates may notice qualities that you don't always recognize in yourself. They might describe you as creative, hardworking, organized, or a good communicator. Honest feedback from others can help you discover your hidden strengths. You should also take some time to reflect on your achievements. Think about the moments when you felt proud of yourself or received appreciation. These experiences often reveal the skills and abilities that make you unique. Now, let's talk about finding your weaknesses. Everyone has weaknesses, and that's perfectly normal. The important thing is to identify them honestly so that you can improve. Start by identifying the areas where you face difficulties. Maybe you struggle with public speaking, managing your time, staying focused, or solving certain types of problems. Recognizing these challenges is the first step toward overcoming them. Next, pay attention to the feedback you receive from others. Sometimes teachers, parents, or friends may point out areas where you need improvement. Instead of feeling discouraged, treat this feedback as an opportunity to learn and grow. Most importantly, be open to feedback. Remember, a weakness is not a permanent limitation. It is simply an area where you can improve through learning, practice, and determination. Self-awareness is not about being perfect. It's about being honest with yourself, recognizing both your strengths and your weaknesses, and continuously working to become a better version of yourself. In the next topic, we'll understand the difference between interests and abilities, and why knowing both is important for making the right career and life choices. Now, let's understand the difference between interests and abilities. Many people think these two terms mean the same thing, but they are actually quite different. Let's start with interests. Your interests are the activities that you enjoy doing or are naturally curious about. These are the things you choose to do in your free time because they make you happy or excite you. For example, you might enjoy painting, playing cricket, solving puzzles, coding, reading books, or listening to music. Interests reflect what you like to do. Now, let's look at abilities, also known as strengths. Abilities are the skills or talents that help you perform a task successfully. Some abilities are natural, while others develop through learning, practice, and experience. For instance, you may have the ability to solve mathematical problems quickly, communicate effectively, play a musical instrument, or lead a team. Abilities show what you can do well. It's important to remember that having an interest in something doesn't always mean you already have the ability to do it well. For example, a student may love singing but may need regular practice and training to become a good singer. Similarly, someone may enjoy playing cricket but must work hard to improve their batting or bowling skills. This is why aligning your interests with your abilities is so important. If your interests and abilities match, you are more likely to enjoy your work and achieve success. But even if they don't match today, don't worry. You can always improve your abilities through continuous learning, practice, and dedication. And if you discover that your interests have changed over time, you can confidently explore a different path that suits you better. Always remember, your interests help you choose the direction, while your abilities help you achieve success in that direction. Understanding both will help you make better decisions about your education, career, and personal growth. With this, we complete our discussion on self-awareness, strength, and weakness analysis. Next, we'll move on to another important topic in self-management skills. Now, let's move on to another essential life skill, self-motivation. Have you ever wondered why some people continue working hard even when no one is watching or encouraging them? The answer is self-motivation. Self-motivation is the inner drive that keeps us moving forward, helps us overcome challenges, and encourages us to achieve our goals without depending on constant reminders or rewards from others. In this section, we'll first understand what self-motivation means and why it plays such an important role in both our personal and academic lives. Next, we'll explore the different types of motivation. You'll learn that motivation can come from within ourselves or from external sources such as rewards, appreciation, or recognition. Understanding these types will help you discover what inspires you to perform your best. Finally, we'll discuss the qualities of self-motivated people. We'll see how successful individuals remain positive, focused, disciplined, and determined even when they face difficulties or setbacks. By the end of this section, you'll understand how self-motivation helps you stay committed to your goals, develop confidence, and continue learning throughout your life. So, let's begin by understanding what self-motivation really is. Let's begin by understanding what self-motivation means. Have you ever started working on something simply because you wanted to achieve it, not because someone asked you to? That inner desire is called self-motivation. Self-motivation is the internal force that encourages us to take action, work towards our goals, and improve our lives without needing constant reminders, rewards, or pressure from others. A self-motivated person doesn't wait for someone else to inspire them. Instead, they create their own motivation by focusing on their dreams, setting clear goals, and believing in their ability to succeed. For example, imagine a student who studies every day because they want to perform well in their examinations and build a successful career. No one has to force them to study, they are driven by their own goals and ambitions. That is self-motivation. Self-motivation helps us stay focused even when tasks become difficult. It gives us the confidence to overcome obstacles, learn from failures, and keep moving forward without giving up. This quality is important not only for students but also for professionals, athletes, entrepreneurs, and anyone who wants to achieve success in life. Always remember, external motivation may help you start, but self motivation helps you continue. It is the inner strength that keeps you working consistently, even when no one is watching. Now that we understand the meaning of self motivation, let's explore the different types of motivation and see what inspires people to achieve their goals. Now, let's explore the two main types of motivation. Although motivation encourages us to take action, it doesn't always come from the same source. Sometimes it comes from within us, and sometimes it comes from outside influences. The first type is internal motivation, also known as intrinsic motivation. Internal motivation comes from your own interests, values, and personal satisfaction. You do something because you genuinely enjoy it or because it makes you feel happy, healthy, or fulfilled, not because someone is forcing you or offering a reward. For example, you may read books because you love learning new things, practice music because it brings you joy, or exercise regularly because you want to stay healthy. In all these cases, the motivation comes from within you. The second type is external motivation, also known as extrinsic motivation. External motivation comes from outside factors such as rewards, appreciation, recognition, prizes, good grades, or even avoiding punishment. For instance, a student may study hard to score high marks, win a scholarship, receive appreciation from parents and teachers, or earn a prize in a competition. Here, the motivation comes from an external reward or recognition. Both types of motivation are useful and can help us achieve our goals. External motivation often helps us get started, especially when a task feels difficult. However, internal motivation is usually stronger and lasts longer because it is driven by our own interests and personal goals. The most successful people often combine both types. They appreciate external rewards, but their biggest driving force is their own passion, determination, and desire to improve. So, remember this simple difference. Internal motivation comes from within you. External motivation comes from outside rewards or recognition. Now that we understand the different types of motivation, let's look at the qualities that make a person truly self-motivated. Now that we understand what self-motivation is and where it comes from, let's look at the qualities of self-motivated people. Self-motivated people have certain habits and attitudes that help them achieve success. The good news is that these qualities can be developed by anyone through consistent effort and practice. The first quality is that they know what they want from life. Self-motivated people have clear goals. They understand what they want to achieve and work towards those goals with confidence and determination. Having a clear direction helps them stay motivated even when they face difficulties. The second quality is that they stay focused. Instead of getting distracted by unimportant things, they concentrate on their priorities. They manage their time wisely, avoid unnecessary distractions, and keep working steadily towards their objectives. The third quality is that they know what is important. They understand the difference between urgent tasks and important goals. They make thoughtful decisions and spend their time and energy on activities that help them grow and move closer to success. The fourth quality is that they are dedicated to fulfilling their dreams. Self-motivated people do not give up easily. They are committed to their goals and continue working hard even when they face obstacles or temporary failures. They see challenges as opportunities to learn rather than reasons to quit. Remember, motivation may help you begin, but dedication and consistency help you finish. Every successful person experiences setbacks, But what makes them different is their determination to keep moving forward. By developing these qualities, having clear goals, staying focused, understanding priorities, and remaining dedicated, you can become more confident, productive, and successful in every area of life. With this, we complete our discussion on self motivation. Next, we'll move on to self regulation, where we'll learn how setting goals and managing time can help us achieve success. Now that we've learned about self motivation, the next question is, how can we build it? The good news is that self motivation is not something you're simply born with. It is a skill that anyone can develop through the right mindset and consistent practice. The first step is to find your strengths. Take some time to understand yourself. Think about your likes, dislikes, interests, and the activities that make you feel happy and confident. When you know your strengths, you can focus on what you do best and build your confidence from there. The second step is to set and focus on your goals. Decide what you want to achieve. Your goals could be related to your studies, career, health, or personal growth. Once you've set your goals, stay focused and direct your time and energy towards achieving them. Clear goals give your efforts a purpose. The third step is to develop a plan. A goal without a plan often remains just a dream. Break your goal into smaller, manageable tasks. Create a timeline, prepare a schedule, and decide what you need to do each day or each week. Following a well-organized plan makes even difficult goals easier to achieve. The fourth step is to stay loyal to your goals. Every journey has challenges, and there will be times when you feel discouraged or face obstacles. During those moments, don't give up. Stay committed, remain patient, and continue working steadily towards your goal. Remember, success doesn't come from never facing difficulties, it comes from refusing to quit. Always keep in mind that motivation helps you begin, but discipline and consistency help you succeed. Every small step you take today brings you closer to achieving your dreams. By identifying your strengths, setting meaningful goals, creating a practical plan, and staying committed, you can develop strong self-motivation that will help you succeed in every stage of life. Now, let's move on to the next important topic, self-regulation through goal setting. Now, let's move on to our next topic, self-regulation through goal setting. Every successful person has one thing in common, they have clear goals. Goals give us direction, keep us motivated, and help us measure our progress. In this section, we'll first understand what goal setting means and why it is such an important part of self-regulation. We'll then learn one of the most popular and effective techniques for setting goals, the SMART method. The SMART method helps us create goals that are clear, practical, and achievable, instead of vague wishes or unrealistic expectations. By following this method, we can stay focused, monitor our progress, and achieve better results. Whether your goal is to score higher marks, learn a new skill, improve your health, or prepare for your future career, setting the right goals is the first step towards success. By the end of this section, you'll know how to create meaningful goals and develop a clear plan to achieve them. So, let's begin by understanding what goal setting really means. Now, let's understand what goals and goal setting are. We all have dreams. Some dream of becoming a doctor, an engineer, a teacher, an entrepreneur, or an athlete. But a dream becomes a goal only when we decide what we want to achieve and set a deadline to achieve it. In simple words, a goal is a dream with a deadline. Having a goal gives us direction. It tells us where we want to go and encourages us to keep moving forward. Without goals, it's easy to lose focus and waste time on activities that don't help us grow. Now, let's understand goal setting. Goal setting is the process of identifying what you want to achieve and then creating a clear plan to reach that goal. Instead of simply wishing for success, goal setting helps you organize your efforts and work systematically. For example, imagine you want to score 90% marks in your final examination. Instead of just hoping for good results, you prepare a study timetable, complete your syllabus on time, revise regularly, and solve practice papers. This planned approach is called goal setting. Goal setting also helps you stay focused on what is truly important. It allows you to manage your time wisely, track your progress, and stay motivated even when you face challenges. Remember, people who set clear goals are more likely to achieve success because they know exactly what they are working towards. Now that we understand the meaning of goals and goal setting, let's learn how to set effective goals using the SMART method. Now that we know what goal setting is, let's learn one of the most effective ways to set goals, the SMART method. The SMART method helps us create goals that are clear, realistic, and achievable. Instead of setting vague goals like, I want to study more, the SMART method helps us define exactly what we want to accomplish and how we will achieve it. Let's understand each letter in SMART. The first letter is S, which stands for specific. A good goal should be clear and well defined. It should answer important questions such as what do I want to achieve? Why is this goal important? When will I start? Where will I work on it? Who is involved? And which resources will I need? The more specific your goal is, the easier it becomes to achieve. The next letter is M, which stands for measurable. A goal should be something you can measure. This allows you to track your progress and know whether you're getting closer to your target. For example, instead of saying, I want to improve in mathematics, you could say, I want to score 95% in my mathematics examination. This gives you a clear way to measure your success. The third letter is A, which stands for achievable. Your goal should be challenging enough to inspire you, but also realistic enough that you can accomplish it with effort and dedication. Large goals should be divided into smaller, manageable steps so that they don't feel overwhelming. The fourth letter is R, which stands for realistic. A realistic goal matches your abilities, available resources, and current situation. Setting impossible goals can lead to disappointment, while realistic goals keep you motivated and confident as you make steady progress. Finally, the last letter is T, which stands for time-bound. Every goal should have a deadline. A target date creates a sense of urgency and encourages you to stay disciplined and complete your work on time. Without a deadline, goals often remain unfinished. So, whenever you set a goal, ask yourself these 5 questions. Is it specific? Is it measurable? Is it achievable? Is it realistic? And is it time-bound? If the answer is yes to all 5, then you've created a strong SMART goal. Using the SMART method makes it easier to stay organized, monitor your progress, remain motivated, and successfully achieve your goals. With this, we complete our discussion on goal setting. Next, we'll move on to another essential self-regulation skill, time management. Now, let's move on to the final topic in this chapter, self-regulation through time management. Time is one of the most valuable resources we have. Every person gets the same 24 hours in a day, but what makes the difference is how we use that time. Good time management helps us complete our work on schedule, reduce stress, improve productivity, and maintain a healthy balance between our studies, hobbies, and personal life. In this section, we'll learn 4 simple steps for effective time management. These practical steps will help you organize your daily activities, avoid procrastination, and make the best use of your time. Whether you're preparing for examinations, completing assignments, or working towards a personal goal, effective time management allows you to stay focused, work efficiently, and achieve better results without feeling overwhelmed. By the end of this section, you'll have simple techniques that you can start using immediately to become more organized and productive. So, let's begin by learning the 4 steps for effective time management. Now, let's understand what time management is and why it is such an important life skill. Time management is the ability to plan and organize how you use the hours in a day so that you can complete your tasks efficiently and achieve your goals. Since everyone has the same 24 hours each day, success often depends on how wisely we use that time. Good time management is not about being busy all the time. It's about doing the right task at the right time and making the best use of every day. There are many benefits of managing your time effectively. First, it helps you complete your work on time, reducing the stress of last-minute deadlines. Second, it allows you to create a daily schedule, making it easier to balance your studies, hobbies, family time, and relaxation. Most importantly, good time management helps you avoid wasting time on unnecessary activities and keeps you focused on your priorities. Students who manage their time well usually perform better in examinations because they study regularly instead of rushing at the last moment. They also have enough time to relax, exercise, and enjoy their hobbies, which creates a healthy balance in life. Remember, time is one resource that can never be recovered once it is lost. That's why learning to manage your time wisely is one of the most valuable habits you can develop. Now that we understand the importance of time management, let's learn the 4 simple steps that can help us manage our time more effectively every day. Now that we understand the importance of time management, let's learn 4 simple steps that can help us manage our time effectively every day. The first step is to organize. Start by planning your daily activities. Create a timetable that includes your study time, homework, hobbies, exercise, and relaxation. Also, keep your books, notes, and workspace neat and organized. When everything is in its proper place, you spend less time searching for things and more time getting your work done. The second step is to prioritize. Not every task is equally important. Make a to-do list and arrange your tasks according to their importance. Complete the most important and urgent work first, and then move on to less important activities. Prioritizing helps you stay focused and ensures that critical tasks are completed on time. The third step is to control your time. One of the biggest challenges today is distraction. Mobile phones, social media, television, and unnecessary internet browsing can consume a lot of valuable time. Learn to control these distractions by setting limits and staying focused on the task you're working on. The fourth and final step is to track your time. Take a few minutes at the end of each day to review how you spent your time. Ask yourself, did I complete my important tasks? Where did I waste time? What can I improve tomorrow? Tracking your daily activities helps you identify time-wasting habits and become more productive over time. Remember, effective time management is not about doing more work. It's about using your time wisely to do the right work at the right time. If you follow these 4 simple steps, organize, prioritize, control, and track, you'll become more disciplined, reduce stress, meet deadlines with confidence, and achieve your goals more efficiently. With this, we complete our discussion on time management and the chapter on self-management skills. These skills will not only help you perform well in your examinations but will also prepare you for success in your future studies, career, and everyday life. And with that, we've reached the end of this chapter on self-management skills. In this lesson, we explored the importance of self-management and learned how it helps us become more confident, responsible, and successful individuals. We discussed stress management, learned practical techniques to reduce stress, and understood the importance of emotional intelligence in managing our emotions and building healthy relationships. We also explored self awareness, discovered how to identify our strengths and weaknesses, and understood the difference between our interests and abilities. Next, we learned about self motivation, the inner force that encourages us to work hard, stay positive, and achieve our goals without depending on others. We then studied goal setting and the SMART method, which helps us create clear, realistic, and achievable goals. Finally, we learned the importance of time management and the simple steps that help us use our time wisely and increase our productivity. I hope these summary notes have helped you understand the chapter clearly and made your revision easier. If you found this presentation helpful, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the EduShree channel for more CBSE study notes, revision videos, worksheets, and examination preparation resources. The PDF of these summary notes is available in the description box, so be sure to download it for quick revision anytime. If you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to write them in the comments or contact us at contact@edushree.in. Thank you so much for watching. Keep learning, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Happy learning!